Hey everybody, welcome back inside another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. This is our January 2020 compilation video for the new folks. We do this beginning of every month to let you know what kits to expect for the given month, this being the first month of the new year and the new decade. New you, new year. Uh, there's not a whole heck of a lot on the list here, to be perfectly honest with you. There may be more round 2 kits coming if I compare this list that I have versus the video that they put out right before the end of the year. But as of right now, only 3 of the 12 kits that they showed in that video are actually supposed to come out this month, according to their own internal shipping here. So those other kits may get added later this month as sort of a late January release. We'll have to see how that goes. One of the primary issues with January is the fact that, at least in this year, the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, uh, is in January rather than being sort of in February where it sometimes normally falls. So we will see that affecting, of course, the ability to get kits out the door and shipped to where they need to go. Not as big a problem for the Japanese kit manufacturers, since you're only shipping stuff directly across, a sea at that point, rather than sending it halfway around the world. But be that nonetheless, there will be probably a few kits that will come out early this month, and then everything else will come out at the very end of the month in terms of just when they'll arrive at vendors, because the middle of the month, everything in China is going to be closed after being on vacation for the last week and a half in Japan. I really do need to move to an Asian country where I can get all this time off. So that being said, let us cover the kits that we have on the list here. Starting over at round 2, again, this may expand over the course of this week, and we'll address it in the regular weekly video if it does. But as it stands right now, there's going to be 3 kits out of AMT, 1 out of MPC. The AMT kits are the 70 Impala Fire Chief, which was supposed to be a kit that came out last month, but for whatever reason it did not. It has been pushed back to this month. So everything I said about that maintains. Molded in red, retooled Fire Chief parts, new stock wheels and tires. And other than that, it is the old heavy Chevy 70 Impala kit that it always has been. The 1977 Pinto Popper with the Coke tie-in, because of course we have to Coke all the things. This is the AMT 77 Pinto. You can build a factory stock. That kit, of course, came out as a solely factory stock kit a few 6 months ago or so. And now it has what they're calling the Popper parts added to it. It appears to be pieces and parts of the Pantera. Everybody remembers the AMT Pantera was like a weird custom sports car thing off the Pinto. It looks like it's those pieces, although possibly not all of them, or else you would just call it the Pantera all over again. You can build it, like I said, stock or custom, and it does come with a 70s era Coca-Cola vending machine, as well as, of course, a plethora of Coca-Cola decals. And then the last kit from AMT, at least for the moment, is the Kenworth Hideout Hauler, the Tyrone Malone drag truck haul trucks. This is, of course, the big flatbed truck with the Kenworth cab over truck chassis. This is going to be molded in black. It is missing pretty much all of the Bandag logos on it, which is kind of interesting, since this was the hauler truck for the Bandag Bandit. There doesn't appear to be any Bandag licensing in there, and I've heard about 3 or 4 different song and dance routines about why the Bandag licensing isn't there, whether it's Firestone that isn't playing with them, or Kenworth doesn't want that there, or there was disagreements with this, there's agreements with that, and it's like I don't necessarily believe that Firestone would have been the problem per se, because of course Firestone licenses tires to round 2 normally. I mean, they sell parts packs of Firestone tires. I don't understand why Bandag is suddenly verboten. Obviously, the original Bandag drag truck and the hauler for it, the white ones, they had the Bandag licensing like 7 years ago. So I'm not exactly sure what the deal is there. Nobody, of course, is going to say, because then somebody's going to have to blame somebody publicly, and then, of course, it's a cacophony of fallout from that. So just keep that in mind if you're going to build this. I mean, the Bandag Bandit is coming back out as just like Tyrone Malone's custom drag truck or something like that, possibly also this month. It was in the round 2 video, but again, it's not on this distribution list that I got before the end of the year. So that also won't have the Bandag logos, which kind of defeats the point of it being the Bandag Bandit at that point. But yeah, all right, whatever. The last kit is going to be the Ed Roth Mailbox Chopper, custom trike. There are 6 of these custom trikes, and they have in the past, at least from what I've seen. I'm not a big motorcycle guy, so I'm relying on other people's memories here. They've always been released as like a 6-pack of kits, and there was a lot of sort of trepidation, if you will, about, oh, they're releasing this one trike, and what's the deal with that? And it looks like, at least from the literature I've seen on this, that it is the first of the 6. So possibly you will get all 6 of those coming back in 2020. If you needed I've seen several people be like, "Oh, I have like all of them, but blah blah blah." So if you're in that camp, you have all of these custom trikes, then luck is on your side, as sometime this year rather, they will be releasing the other 5. So if you're missing one, your prayers are answered. Just hang out, wait for it to show up. If you're not, and you want to restart a whole new collection of these, of course, that's also possible as well. They're saying this is like the first time it's been in like a full print size. Now the box is still somewhat smaller. It's about yay bigger so than a regular kit box. It's probably 77% of a model kit box in like every dimension, including thickness. So it won't neatly stack. They're not going to give you a gigantic box with a few pieces rolling around in it, but it is like I said, a big box. Rather than either coming out in very small, like 1/32 scale boxes, or coming out in a bigger box that had all 6 of them in it. So that is round 2 for the moment. Again, that may increase as time goes along, but they haven't bothered to update their list, so that's what they get for this video. Over at Mobius, we get the release of the 1965 Ford style side long bed truck, as well as the 1966 style said short bed truck. Those, of course, will being Fords. These will be sort of the first generic, if you will, releases of the 65-66 Ford F Series. We've had the bump side box or the flare side box, and then we've had the tool truck, if you will, the one with the big box on the back of it that would be used for like a utility truck, or like a utility bed, exactly what they called it actually. And so these are going to be the first of those. The only real new parts in these kits compared to either of the 2 first 65-66 kits, of course, will be the full style side beds that go along with it. It appears that both the long bed and the short bed are going to have 352 V8s in them, so you won't get a situation like you had with the original set of Ford F-Series pickup trucks where every short bed was a V6, or an inline 6 rather. And those kits actually, by the time you get to watch this, are probably going to be out already. They were supposed to be shipping at the end of December. I know my local hobby shop said they should have theirs in by the New Year's week, last week, technically. As I'm filming this, it's the 6th of January. So those were probably in stores. They're probably on eBay. And if you pre-order them someplace, chances are they're on the way, or you may have actually already got yours. So those are releases for this month. We'll cover the kits themselves in the regular weekly episode next week. And the other kit that most places seem to have as a January release is the Golden Commandos Ultra Wheelbase AFX 1965 Plymouth kit. I've not seen like some sort of concrete confirmation that this kit will ship this month, but pretty much everybody I've talked to says it's supposed to come in January, so that'll be something else to look forward to, especially for obviously the vintage drag racing fans, as this is the first of the Ultra Wheelbase Mopar kits. It is buildable in 2 ways as far as the decals go. There's 2 different versions of the Golden Commandos decals in there, so you get to pick lots of new parts with this. Obviously, you have the Ultra Wheelbase chassis, the drag parts, and things like that. So there's quite a bit in there that will be new for you folks. And then the last domestic kit we have for sure confirmation coming on is the Salvino's JR 1974 Monte Carlo, the Cale Yarborough Jimmy Johnson combination kit with the Car Care livery sponsorship package to it. That'll be coming out this month as well. Going overseas, just a few things. Fujimi has 2 wheel sets coming out this month. 17-inch BBS RG30, the RG 346s, and the 18-inch Workmeister Emotions. So that's it. I mean, they're doing a bunch of military, 1/72 scale military stuff like crazy, but car stuff, just 2 sets of wheels. Over at Hasegawa, you get a reissue of the 1977 Monte Carlo Rally winning Lancia Stratos HF, a reissue of the Lancia Delta for the 1993 Acropolis Rally, the second place finishing car, the reissue of the 1991 Mitsubishi Galant in the Thousand Lakes Rally livery, and that is going to be either for the third place or the fourth place car, and the 1991 Subaru Legacy in the Swedish Rally livery, which will build you the third place car. I'm pretty sure the Subaru Legacy will build you 2 different team cars, but the podiumed, obviously, is the one I mentioned. And then you have a reissue of the 1994 BMW 318i in its Japanese touring car championship format as the BP Advan Hikosama car. That is a very interesting choice, although I suppose if we want to go with the way they did the Civics, they went through some of the uh, lesser known also ran teams before they did the better teams. So if that's what gets me all of the 318i's that ran in 1994, I don't care where we start or how we get there. I just want to get there. And then lastly, from Hasegawa, we get a reissue of their 1966 Volkswagen Beetle. Theirs is a curbside. It's not nearly as robust a kit as, say, the Tamiya Beetle, or for that matter, the Revell of Germany Beetle. Oh, the Revell of Germany Beetle is a 1968 German spec Beetle. I think the Volkswagen Beetle that Tamiya did is a 1965 spec Beetle. But at any rate, it is a curbside, so keep that in mind. And this is being reissued with the California look, meaning it has like Moon Eyes style wheel covers and flame graphics. And then it also has a Resin Girl. Because why, Brian? Because Resin Girl all the things. And lastly, we go over to Aoshima, and they are going to be reissuing their 1977 Celica Liftback 2000 GT, their 1975 Fairlady Z Aero Custom, their 2014 Lamborghini Huracan LP6104, the 1999 FC3S RX7 RE Amelia tuner, as well as Workmeister S1, Work Emotion CR, and Volk Racing TE37 RT wheels in 18-inch size, and 14-inch Mark 1 and Star 5 wheels. By the way, those Workmeister S1 3-piece, they're not really 3-piece, they're a 1-piece wheel. It's deceptive advertising. But those Workmeister S1s in 18-inch are the wheels that you need to properly outfit your Lancia 037 Japanese Grand Touring Championship car. The box wheels that are on the box art would be those wheels right there. They had run out of those wheels right there pretty much everywhere, which is why Aoshima was reissuing them. And so if you needed a set, grab a set because, hey, if you wait, they'll sell back out again, and they'll be out sometime, probably the middle of this month. So, at any rate, guys, that pretty much wraps up this video for this month. Next month, there's quite a bit more already just in the Japanese side of things without adding any American kits in it. So once the holidays are over for everybody, we'll get back to the grind, so to speak. So anyway, yeah, I didn't put the curtain up yet. I didn't have the time, and pretty much wraps it up, I guess. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I have like 3 other videos I need to make, and I'm trying not to make sure I don't mix anything in any of them like with each other. So I'm gonna leave it where we're at here. We'll see you guys on the other side.